Titanfall! 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 So hi guys and welcome to the Friday Night Rant, and it is the first one since Titanfall has arrived. And I have to say I am already heavily addicted to the point where something happened the other night. I was trying to do the prestige or regen as they like to call it, and there's something that caused me a problem. It made me go, oh my god, I hate this game, and I put it down and I'm not going to play it again. 5 seconds later I'm back on that game. Also I wanted to just point out, I apologise for the lighting. Joe decided to decorate the entire house, which is now rendered parts of the room useless, so I can't get the lighting equipment out and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit bright today. So yes, I cannot say enough good things about Titanfall, but I'm going to start off the Friday Night Rant talking about the game. And this is not me talking about what I like about the game, this is just a few things that have annoyed me. So what I want to talk about then is mainly Metacritic. Now I'm always quite sceptical when it comes down to reviews, if it comes from IGN or GameSpot or whatever it is. So I don't know if they're paid or they're biased or what it is, but I'm not talking about Titanfall in particular now, I'm talking about any game. If somebody gives it a review and says it's a 6, I tend to ignore that and I'll either go with what the masses say or I'll just purchase it anyway and give it a taste myself. So I'm always wary about official reviews. Now Metacritic's a great place because obviously you're going to get all your official reviews tallied into one number, but at the same time all the user reviews tallied into a number as well. And the best thing is if you can see the official and the users kind of around about the same, you know they're probably talking the truth. So I do use Metacritic from time to time just to get an average of what the users are saying. But it makes me laugh when it comes down to something like Titanfall. Now this is obviously an exclusive to the Xbox One and also Microsoft Windows, so obviously that leaves a lot of PlayStation 4 users unable to play it. So when I went to Metacritic and noticed this had a really low score, the first thing I thought was just people that are butthurt just jumped on there and tried to give it a negative score. And it shows straight away because people are giving this game a 0. Now I have to say, obviously some PlayStation fans are not bothered about this game, and some people who probably are Xbox One users that don't enjoy the game. We have to say 99% of this hate that's on there is people, they're just angry because of this exclusivity of the game. Now I've never really seen people coming in the droves like this to rate a game which I personally think is one of the best FPSs I've played in a long time. The market is kind of stale, this is coming fresh and new, so for me it's a great game. But the thing that makes it obvious that these people are just hating on the game for the sake of it is the 0 number. Now I've played a ridiculous amount of games in my lifetime. And I have to say, I have never played a game which is a 0. I have played some utter shit before. And I would probably mark it down to 2. I don't even think I could give something a 1 really. But I would never ever on this earth give something a 0. Now I'm not saying there isn't a 0 game out there, there probably is. But the point is, I've never found it, I've never played it, and Titanfall definitely isn't a 0. So it's just annoying when people come in and do that. They're very vocal, they hate a lot of things, and the thing is, it affects the score of it. And like I said, I don't really go into too much on what the actual scores are, I prefer to play them myself, but still it is damaging to that game. And I can't understand the mindset really behind people that actually do it, because I own all consoles, so therefore if an exclusive game comes out, I'm happy because I can get it on anything. But if there was another console that came out, say Sega made a console and I couldn't afford it, and then Shenmue came out for the Sega console, I wouldn't hate on it. If anything, I'd be like, I cannot wait for it to come to all consoles if there's another version, or when I can afford to buy that console. So hate is a damaging thing, and just enjoy what you've got. So now there's me saying don't hate on the game, and now I'm going to hate on the game. Well, not the game, the way you deliver the game, Mr. Digital Man. So, as I said in previous videos, I'm tending to go more and more digital. And the reason for that is, I don't think I've explained this in the videos, but I've noticed I play more digital. And the reason for that is, if I put in a big game, so Titanfall, I'll put the disc in, I'll have a monster session with the lads, and then if I'm going to jump off and go to bed, I'll probably chat to them for 15 minutes before shooting off. During that time, it's perfect time for me to fire up a digital game. Now, I've been playing a heavy amount of Peggle and Power Style Golf because these are digital games. So it's so easy to say, Xbox, go to Peggle, have a 15-minute blast before I go to bed. Now, I noticed on the 360, because most of my media was actually physical, I could never be asked to get up to put a disc in just for 5 minutes. It was useless. If I'm going to sit on a monster session, a physical, I don't mind getting up. I'm not that lazy. But it's nice to have them short 5-minute blast games. And that's what made me fall in love with digital this generation. So I says I wanted to get Titanfall digital because at the moment, obviously, I'm going to be doing massive stints on the game. But the point is, a year from now, when I've actually got over the buzz of the game, it would be great to be playing the next best game. And then before I go to bed, I go, I'm just going to have one game on Titanfall, Xbox, go to Titanfall and have a 5-minute blast. So in my head, I wanted that digital game. And I wanted the digital game to be cheaper than physical. But personally, I knew that probably wasn't going to happen. So I says, if it was £5 more than a physical disc, I'd probably do it. Now that's me being stupid because I've always said to you lot, vote with your wallets, and that's me throwing it out the window. That was me going, I'm still going to give you the money even though you're doing me over, Mr. Digital. But when the day came, it came to £55 for digital and it's £45 for physical. Now I personally got my Titanfall at £36 because I got it on a really good deal at Amazon. So therefore I can either get it from physical from Amazon or I can get it digitally for 20 quid more, which is absolutely ridiculous. So fair enough, I got it on a deal, but even if I went to the local game shop and brought it for £45, I'll still be paying £10 over the odds if I brought it digital, which is just ludicrous, and I cannot understand why they keep doing it. You haven't got to pay for shops, you haven't got to pay for delivery, you haven't got to pay for packaging. So why are you charging more? And to top it all off, you should want us to go digital because we can't sell it on. There is no second-hand market on digital yet. So why the f*** are you still charging £55? I don't know. I cannot understand your mindset. I don't know why you're doing it, and you got to sort it out. You really have. So moving on to the next subject, Project Morpheus. For people who don't know what Project Morpheus is, it is PlayStation's answer to virtual reality. Now, there's been a few rumours kicking around for a long time that Sony is going to be entering the virtual reality market, and it's now been confirmed. So we've got to see our first version of the headset, and I have to say it's a very sexy piece of kit. Now the weird thing about this news is when the Oculus Rift first came out, I got really excited for it and I was like, I want it, cannot wait for it to come. Now Sony have actually done the same and I don't know why I'm not so excited. Now I don't know if that's because Oculus Rift did it first and I got so excited about that I'm not as excited because there's now a copycat around. Or could it be simply because they've only just gave us this news, so when I first learned about the Oculus Rift, it was kind of, here's a picture of this thing, and I wasn't excited. And then more and more I actually watched people put it on the head, and I got to see inside what they actually see, and people's reactions. That got me excited. So I don't know if I've got to wait until Sony actually start releasing some footage of it, and actually having people play on it, and then that might get me excited. Now there's actually rumblings going along that Microsoft's going to be joining in it as well, because the thing is, as we know, one person does something good, the others will follow. So it looks like Microsoft will also be entering this market. Now you might be thinking that I'm just saying I'm not excited for the Sony one because it's Sony, and obviously I am a very big fan of the Xbox. But the thing is, even if Microsoft do it, I don't think I'll be excited, again, until it gets to the point where I can actually see that it does work and it's not just a gimmick. But it is a weird thing because sometimes when I look at things I get excited and then it turns out to be crap. Now when the Kinect first came out, very excited for it, then I got to play it and I was like, oh, it's not as good as I thought. Then Kinect 2 came out and I thought it's not going to be as good as I thought, and it was better than I thought. So it swings and roundabouts really. But it's definitely something I would love to try now, if it's the Oculus Rift, the Sony or the soon-to-be Microsoft one. Either way, I do want to get my hands on it and actually see how good these things are. But it's one of those things, is it going to be fun for a while or is it going to be the next movement in gaming? And now I'm kind of on the fence on this. I don't know if I like it or I don't. And I think the main thing that kind of scares me about this is when the TVs move from normal televisions to go, we are now 3D TVs, and I absolutely hated that. I can remember the first time I put the glasses on, I looked at a movie and I went, that looks good, but I don't give a shit. I'm happy as it was in the first place, and I'm kind of worried that I might get this with the virtual reality headsets. So it's another one of those, time will tell. So the next thing I want to talk about is an idea that I had with the lads. We have a bit of a think tank, we have a little chat, and I come up with an idea and I bounce it off them and they said it was a really good idea and they would be absolutely happy for it to happen. Now I want to just pitch this idea at you guys and see what you think about it. Now as we know, gaming is designed for one purpose only, and that is to generate money so they can go off and make more games. Now games come in so many different formats. You'll have a game come out at full price and that's the one-off payment. You'll have some games that have DLC, some have season pass, some have online pass. Some are completely free with microtransactions built inside. So there's so many flavours of way of getting a game to you but trying to get money back out. But the only way I've not seen is this one that I've come up with. Now the idea is based on a game that is over 2 years old. So for instance, a game just comes out, obviously it's making big bucks for the developers. You take a game that's 2 years old, it's generating them next to nothing. Now the reason for that is either if you wanted to play that game, you have already purchased it and done so within the 2 years. And if you haven't, then if you are going to go out and get that game, the chances are you're going to be buying it super cheap second hand. So the thing is, if you're buying it off the front within the first 2 years, or you're buying it second hand after the 2 years, it means the developers get next to nothing. So therefore, that game is dead in the water, it generates no revenue. Now I don't know why developers don't then give that game away for free. Now first of all, by giving it away for free means everybody now loves you as a developer, which is good. But the thing is, what they should do is when they give it away free, they then put in-game advertisements. So let's just take Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now this is an old game now, and anybody that plans to play this game will be doing it via the second-hand market. So as we know with Call of Duty, you go around, you kill the hell out of everybody, and once you're done, you get chucked into a lobby for 90 seconds before your next game continues. Now, during that process, I don't understand why they don't just give you a 30-second video. You can't skip it, you have to sit and watch it, and then you get dumped back into the lobby for an additional 60 seconds. So that means that it hasn't actually interrupted your gameplay. You've gone from having a 90-second lobby all the way down to a 30-second advert and a 60-second lobby, so you'll be back into the game as fast as you was originally. Now, fair enough, that means 30 seconds time missing from you customising your loadout, but the point is you are now enjoying a free game. Now I understand this couldn't be applied to everything, so you could take Fable 2 for instance. Now I don't know where you would fit an advertisement in there without you going, oh god, that's a bit in your face. But I think this model could apply to so many games. But even still, I don't think I'd be angry if somebody gave me a game and then every 15 minutes a 30-second advert come in. And the thing is, it's great, it means all the people get to enjoy free games, it means the developers start getting money again for an old product, and I think it's a win-win all around. So when I explained that to the lads on the Xbox One, they all says they would be more than happy for old games to go and get adverts in it. And again, this is not being forced down your throat. If you don't want the adverts, go buy the game. But I think it's a great option for people that A, are trying to play on the cheap, or B, can't be asked to go to town to buy a game when you could just get it for free. So that's my idea of sticking adverts into old games that generate no revenue. So that's me done and dusted, guys. So I'm going to leave you with a question of the week, which is going back to what I said about the advertising in games. Now remember, I'm not saying it should be put into all games, I'm talking about old games. So I hope you guys and girls have a great weekend, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Cheers guys, bye.